Alright guys, this is going to be a rough one this week. There has been a horrific crime that has happened this week in my hometown. I'm not going to go into too many details. I'm just going to tell you, look up Macomb Shooting in Park. MCCOMB. Look that up and you'll see why this week is going to be a little rough for me, along with several people that I've shared this town with. I share this county with. The 4 people who have been arrested and charged, in all honesty, I have no remorse for the ones who committed this. My grievances, my prayers, my thoughts all go out to the families of those 5 victims. Yes, 5 victims. 2, unfortunately, did not make it. It's a grisly, unprovoked attack that should never have happened. So this week, I'm doing this for a new reason. I've always wanted to bring closure to families, but now I'm going to be continuing my hunt for evidence to bring criminals like this to justice. That's going to be my reason to keep going. Because things like this happen all the time. Unfortunately, yes, they do. I hate that they do. I honestly do. But there's nothing I can do as one single person to stop it. Instead, all I can do is help spread the awareness that yes, it is happening. And because of the young age of the criminals in this case, I'm not even going to say names. I refuse to. Out of respect for the families of the victims themselves, but also in a personal belief of mine that when you commit a horrific crime like this, you don't deserve to be recognized for it. All right? That's my belief. You don't deserve to be recognized for this. Instead, bury it. Get the person off the streets. Get the person in jail or on death row, depending on the crime. Like, depending on the jurisdictions and everything else, just get them put away and out of sight, out of mind. Reason that I say that is because there are many people who commit these types of crimes that simply do it for the recognition. They simply say, hey, I want to be known for something. Oh, I don't know, I'll do this. It's horrific. And in order to stop that, we need to start actually burying knowledge of them. Just don't recognize the person. Just say that yes, the people who have done this have been caught, they are being tried, and if convicted, they will be punished. And leave it at that. We don't need to know a name and face to the people who did it. We just need to know it's been found who did. And leave it at that. But that's, again, my personal beliefs. You can believe what you need to. Believe what you want to. I don't mind. I'm not going to judge you. All right? Personally, I'm not going to judge anybody for their beliefs. Okay? Now, I'm currently getting ready to head out. I'm actually going into a town in this county that I've been trying to avoid going into until I got better connections. But this incident has driven me over that edge. I'm just going to go. And if the local authorities have a problem with me, I'm just going to tell them what I'm doing. Most of them actually know me on a personal level anyway. But I'm hoping that that will be enough to keep them off my back until I find something. I do apologize for this intro being as long as it is. But it had to be said. It honestly did. So I'm going to continue getting ready. and then I'm going to head out, and I'll meet y'all when I get out there. I also apologize for this being a late upload. Work has been hectic. I'll just leave it at that. Alright guys, I met my first river on the east side of this town. I'm still technically in town. You're going to be hearing a lot of traffic. I do apologize for that. The river looks pretty shallow. I would walk down, but there is a lot of overgrowth, and considering I don't know what critters could be in that, I'm not going to deal with it. So, instead, I'm going to go ahead and get to work on this. Let's see what we find in here. Alright, unfortunately, I'm not finding anything on this side of the bridge, but I'll head to the other side. What really got me is, look at all this broken glass. Thankfully, people walk this with good shoes on normally, so they're not getting their feet they're not getting their feet constantly cut up. But that still is what got my attention to this spot. But I'm not finding anything on this side, so I'm about to hop across this highway and see what I find. Well, I'm on the other side. Look how overgrown this side is. So yeah, I'm not walking down to the bank, but if I'm not finding anything in this river, that's a good thing. It's good to not find something, because then that means that the river is either taking good care of itself, or people are just not throwing things off the bridge that you're at. Either way is a good thing. But I'm looking at this one and I'm seeing a lot of bubbles, lots of flowing. So let's see what may or may not be in here. There's a lot of debris here for it to get caught on that might have caught everything that was heading where I was standing. Alright, small update. Just had a couple of cool guys stop and ask what I was doing. Once I explained it to them, they asked if I hadn't found anything, and one of them even joked saying, contact me if you ever find a car. So, to you two guys, thank you. It's that kind of interaction that makes this all worth it. Never got your names, and I don't mind that. Still not finding much of anything. Oh well, that's cool for me. But again, thank you to those two guys. Well, I actually get to say this. I have found yet another clean river. There is no metal. I have cast every which direction on this thing. Ain't no metal in this area. So nobody's tossing metal off this bridge. That's good to know. In fact, there ain't even metal scraps on top of the bridge. Well, that means I don't have to return to this one for a good while. On to the next spot. Well, I'm at the second spot. I'm on the south side of town now. And this is essentially a little creek. But I've learned watching some other videos, don't even be fooled by that. Even if it's shallow and pretty much a creek, you can still find some pretty amazing stuff. So I'm going to get my rope tied off to me and get to work. Let's have ourselves a little bit of fun. Alright. Sorry about traffic, guys. I'm on the other side of that same bridge I'm on. And I might not even hit this, if I'm going to be honest. It's way too clear. I can see straight to the bottom.
I'm not going to climb down there because if I get off this bridge, I'm on private property. I don't know the people that own these lands. I'm not going to even chance myself on that. But I'm starting to think that I might want to just leave this one be. I didn't find anything on the other side. With how clear that is, and I truly can't see nothing. I don't know. I gave it a few tosses just to make sure, but my gut's telling me to move on. Well, I'm finding a whole lot of nothing. Should listen to my gut. Oh, hey, my carabiner's actually cleaned up. That's good. So, I guess it wasn't all bad. Whatever this river is, it cleaned up my carabiner to where I can open it again. I was starting to get scared I'd have to get another one and cut this one open. Well, I'm going to get going to my last spot for the day. I got one more place that I'm going to hit. Hopefully I find something, but I got no guarantees. Alright guys, I actually got told by a local to actually head further south and hit this bridge, which is right next to our speedway, local one. We love our speedways there in the country. This is a dirt one. Considering everything that's goes on, every weekend there's fun to be had out here. I guarantee there's gonna be some interesting stuff in this river. I wish I could hit it while it's a bit further closer to the speedway, but I don't have permission to be on that land. So I'm just gonna hit the bridge next to it and see what I find. Well, I'm not finding much out here, but I found a few nails. It's like the second one I found. The first one was wicked tiny. I didn't even notice it until I really took a close look. But that's all I'm finding so far. I've been out here for about an hour and a half. I only found a couple of nails. I could just be missing whatever it is, but there's also just so much plant life down in there that it could just be buried up inside the plant and not have a strong enough magnet to get it out. Because I don't exactly have a very powerful magnet when it comes to that. But I'm going to take one of my buckets and head to the other side of the bridge. See what I find on that side. Just as I was about to call it for the day, because it's starting to get pretty cold, found, if I had to guess, since I am a mechanic by trade, this is an automotive piece, but it's super, super tiny. I can't remember what it's called. I'll put it in my palm so you can see it a bit better. But yeah, that, I'm not 100% sure. There's nothing else on there. It sucks. But for my final throw, that wasn't too bad to find something, meaning I think the river's trying to tell me, come on back. I might have something for you then. But like I said, it's getting cold, so I'm gonna pack up, get in my truck, and then I'll do my proper send-off. Alright guys, like, I didn't want to actually end as soon as I did. I felt like I was getting close to finding something, but I looked at the radar real quick and there is a massive storm pretty much on top of me. So I'm calling it now. You can see a lot of the cloud cover here because normally that is not as direct as it is. Huh. It's just glaring. Interesting. But either way, I didn't find much today, but that's actually good to me. That narrows down more and more that I don't need to hit these areas. And that also tells me that this town is doing a good job at keeping the rivers clean. I can't really argue too much with that. That I can be proud that a local town is taking care of its rivers. I'm happy with that. Now, this right here next to the Speedway, we call it the Speedway. It's a racetrack. It is a dirt racetrack. They hold races every Saturday night. And I've grown up watching some of them races. So I know for a fact that I might find a few things in this river. I just didn't happen to land on some of those items this time. And I didn't really hunt this one as good as I normally do. I didn't cover it like I really should. But like I said, there's a storm coming in. I'm going to just go ahead and get out of here before I get caught. Because I don't need to get sick again. That being said, guys, this is Big Mike, Magnetic Hunter, signing off. It has been a wonderful day, and I'm glad to prove that I do have a local town that takes care of its rivers. Thank you. And to reiterate it from the beginning of this video, I have a new purpose to doing this, and that is to hunt for evidence. I may never find it in my area. I may have to go out of state to start doing that, but I don't care. I have my purpose now in doing this. And if anybody happens to know an area local to me that I probably would find something, I live in South Mississippi. I'm less than a proper 30-minute drive from the Louisiana border on the south end. So I can easily hit Baton Rouge very quick. Like, Baton Rouge I can hit in about 45 minutes from where I live. So I know I'm going to head down that way eventually. But so far I'm mainly clearing out my local area. Then I'll expand out. But it's hard for me to talk about it. So go look it up. It is Macomb Shooting in Park. That is MCCOMB. Trust me, you'll understand why it hurts for me to talk about it. Just a senseless crime that should never have happened, but it did. We can't change the past. Look after your kids, all right? And trust your gut when you feel like they're into something they shouldn't be. Don't accuse them, but make sure your kids always know they can come to you for anything. Just make sure they know that. Because they need to. I'm going to go home. And I may not have any kids, but I do have a couple of nephews and a niece. I'm going to give them a big hug. This is Big Mike, Magnetic Hunter, signing off. Have a wonderful day, a wonderful week, and let's get to cleaning up these rivers, shall we?